Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Dice Hour. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Chris Yee.
I'm Joey Evans.
We're starting with some medium energy today.
Yeah, this is like, we're going to keep it down. Keep it down.
This is your nightly. Joey, play that next track.
Yes. This is smooth jazz.
For those of you out there on Highway 99.
We love you too.
Can I be the wolf guy?
Oh, yes, right. You're listening to the best rock and roll music this side of the Mississippi.
You're on a different channel than us.
Yeah, this you need to flip it.
I'm going to flip it.
One more elevator music here.
All right. Well, hey, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Board Game Smorgasbord. We want to start out by saying thanks to several of our Kickstarter backers.
Yep.
Did you know that we have all our promos except one for the Dice Hour Kickstarter?
Which one?
We'll be starting packing them together and shipping them. Give us a month or so to get that together, and shipping will probably start within 2 months. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me.
All right, good. I don't know that it matters to you, but
Sounds
Doesn't.
bad to me. Here I am.
You know
We're
what?
fair. We're balanced.
All right.
Right?
You are the deciding vote.
that's what's happening. So don't matter.
Hey, this is a democracy.
Anyway, thanks to our Kickstarter backers. We'll say thank you to Eric Wepsick, to Ann Kristen Westholm from Sweden,
Sweden,
to Royce
represent.
Van Loon. The Flip Side of Board Games wants to thank the Dice Tower folks for everything they do in their friendship. To Matthew Romanata, I know him. To Quinn and Charlie Halbertstadt, to Carissa and Brandon, to
Carissa and
Pal
Brandon.
Rivarsson from Iceland, to Peter Konsulik, and to Stephen Dibelius.
That's a fun word. That's like a journey.
Steven?
Debiliate.
All right, also, Dice Tower West registration is live and hotel rooms are open, so if you want to come, sign up. We're going to be there.
Me too.
It's hard. It just like,
I feel like West just happened. Is that what you're about to say?
Yeah. But West is good. It's exciting, and we're
Can't get enough
excited to be there.
Vegas.
Also, if you want to sell used board games to other folks,
How?
check out Dice Tower District. District is a place that's easy to sell games, used games. Lots of people are selling them there. There's lots of entries and an easy way. It works really well on mobile, too. So definitely check that out. And it's a small way to support the Dice Tower.
There's a link tree below in the video description. It'll take you to dicetowerwest.com. It'll take you to the district. It'll take you to all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, go check that out.
All right. So let's get going here with Board Game Smorgasbord. And as always, we start with the news. We got two pieces of news that I didn't make slides for. Mike is in England, gallivanting around. He normally puts our news together, so I did it, and you can tell I did a stellar job.
I agree, Tom.
Gallivant. That takes place in England, doesn't it?
Best musical TV series ever.
That features Weird Al.
Is he in
Weird
it?
Al was briefly in it.
He is in it?
Features.
Yeah,
Guest
they
appearances.
paid him to show up and sing real quick and then disappear.
To watch it again.
You didn't know Weird Al was in it?
No. You like?
He comes in as basically as Weird Al.
He's also in The Naked Gun.
I did not know that either.
Oh.
I'm not a huge Weird Al fan.
No, I get that. Okay.
So, he's easy to miss, I suppose. He doesn't have a distinct look or anything.
He's carrying an accordion. I'm fine.
All right, anyway. So the first big piece of news, well, the biggest piece of news, is that Stonemaier announced a game. Whenever they announce a game, it is an event. This one is called Stamp Swamp.
What?
I like how you're saying what, as if you've never heard of this game or played it.
Tell me more.
All right. So this is from Paul Solomon, who designed Honeybuzz and Genotype. And so...
Genotype's good. I haven't tried Honey Buzz.
No, it's good. I like
haven't tried
Honeybuzz.
Genotype.
It's good. I played it.
Joe
Anyone
and
else?
I we're just really balancing each other out today.
You're like in stereo.
I am the middle today. All right. Anyway, in this game, basically, Stamp Swap, you're collecting different stamps, and it's kind of a split between. There's two main features to the game: I split, you choose, and drafting.
Yes.
No, there's definitely I split, you choose.
There
type
is,
thing.
but it feels weird the way it does it.
Well, okay. Yep. No more comments.
Got it.
You know, you gotta be rational and focused, because that's what we're talking about.
Oh, we have
Yes.
to be rational and focused. I think the name's stupid.
No,
No, it makes me always say...
mostly because the embargo's not off. We'll have our review up in a week or so.
Yes.
It always makes me say
Very
Stamp Swamp, and I feel dumb when I say it. And so I
Yeah,
blame Jamie
the end looks like
Stegmaier.
it kind of falls down there.
Anyway, the game's going to be available in September 4th. I guess you can start ordering it then, and the worldwide release date is October. Wow. I mean, I have to say, if you have FOMO, you should be a Stonemaier fan because he announces the game, and then you can get it.
That is a good point, you know?
And if you're one of his super fans, you can get it like 2 weeks even earlier.
Is that true or not?
I don't like that.
Is that true?
It is, yeah. If you're, I forget what it's called, like a Guardian member or something like that, you can get things a few weeks early. He does well with his business practices.
It's really smart. Pay me money to get my games that you have to pay for anyway, but you get it faster.
And I think that you get
and you get to
discounted
show
You
shipping.
do get a discount. And I think it evens out actually. So I
Right.
should.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so we'll have a full review of that in a week or so. The other news. Let me see if I can find this here. Yes, here it is. I missed this. There's a new Raw expansion announced.
Raw Traders.
This was announced on X. That's why I didn't see it because I don't follow X.
Yeah. I'm on Twitter. I haven't heard of X.
Raw Traders. So not traitors, but traders.
It's not going to get there.
Here's my...
Taters.
There's been fairly divisive feedback on the announcement of this, I found, ranging from extreme excitement to... I don't know. I haven't heard his opinion. Did he say he was excited?
He's excited.
He's excited.
Well, I mean, I know that he said, I definitely need to play this.
Which I agree.
Well, needing to play it is different than being excited about it. I'm going to try it, but I think Raw is a perfect game.
I agree.
I don't know that it needs anything. So you're going to have to convince me.
I agree with that. Like, I really enjoy Raw. It's fine-tuned. It's well-balanced. It's been around for 25 years, I think, as is. So this is kind of a funny time to say, yeah, I made an expansion for it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there is a resurgence this game has had a huge resurgence with the 25th century. This is a rarity because old games are being reprinted all the time.
And they don't.
And they don't make a
knock
splash.
down
They
the
almost
door.
never make a splash. The exceptions last year would be Ra and Castles of Burgundy. And to prove my point, Amun-Re, another great Knizia game, came out last year. Did not make a splash because they were selling it for $20 at GenCon.
Which is a shame.
Oh, were they really?
Yeah.
That one's a really good production, has a few flaws, and I think that those few flaws turned off people. And then I also think that
What was the flaws in it?
a few of the misprints on cards and things like that.
I didn't even know about that. But I don't even think that. I think just Ra just hits the spot. And I also think
It's a
I think
perfect
the
weight.
25th century reprint of Ra is one of the best reprints I've ever seen in my life.
I agree.
Like if I ever did top 10 reprints of all time, Ra would be on my list instantly and could be at the very top.
Yeah.
That's how good that reprint was.
And so say like getting Knizia to design, and I believe that this is a Knizia design, is my understanding.
I would
of this. Well, I mean, it doesn't always.
No,
It
but for
doesn't
the
always
game
work
like
out that way.
this, I would hope that.
Right.
Yeah, but-
So I'm curious enough. I'm optimistic at least about it. But I have to try it because is it going to elevate it, or is it just going to be like a complete sidestep, or is it going to make it worse?
And I assume there's going to be two versions of retail and deluxe. I would say. It depends on what the components are, really, but.
would have to be, I
Well, we'll have to
because
find out.
I think there are tiles that go in the back.
There's also the Ra and Rights coming too, right? Is this
Ra
part of
and-
the same Kickstarter?
Yes, Rotten Right and Razzia, the card game. kind of riff
Razzia
on
is the
Ra.
one I'm most interested of those three. Ra and Right, I hate the thought of it. Ra Traders, I'm dubious.
Rotten Right, it turns out, is not the Raw the Dice game.
Which is good, actually. I like Ra the Dice game.
I like Raw the Dice game. I was hoping to see that.
Ra and Right, my dispute with that game is the name.
Of course, yeah.
It bothers me. It's stupid.
You like just throwing. You hate and right on the end of everything.
Raw and Right Eeple.
I'm kind of over roll and write games in general.
Oh, I know
but,
that.
But yeah, you can't act like you're some big hero of roll and rights. You think you'll play them.
I will
you
purchase
aspire
them.
to play them.
It's true.
When does Raw the Trick Taking game come out?
All right, well,
That's soon.
all right. Okay, Oink Games is announcing Deep Sea Adventure Boost this autumn. So this game will be. I like this. This game will be announced at Spiel 2024.
Oh, I can't wait to
I
hear
don't even know
about it.
that.
I wonder if that's a translation means
I
like
think-
revealed.
I think they're going to show it off there. It won't be sold there. They said it's going to actually, they'll be available for pre-sales at PAX. So anyway, it's a new edition of the popular game. What I thought was interesting about this was in their in their advertising, I don't see it here. Oh yeah, here it is. They said they sold 300,000 copies of this.
This game I saw played 3 times at GenCon, which is crazy. Walking around, people just had it out on the table. I'm like,
You mean the original?
yeah, the
Deep
original
Sea
one.
Adventure.
Yeah, it's got legs.
I've never actually played it.
Really?
I have not.
Oh, that's funny. I think
It's
that you
neat.
would dislike many aspects of it, but
Okay.
Really?
But you might
I
have
thought
a
it was a
fun
push
time
your luck
with
game.
It is.
It
Yeah.
is.
But I like push your luck.
Yeah. There's like a weird shared oxygen pool.
Right.
that-
Hate it.
That's the thing. You
You
might
hate
dislike.
oxygen?
I hate sharing.
Oh, got it. All right.
You might dislike it because if
checks
other
out.
people push their luck more, there's kind of a group punishment thing to
I don't like that. Deep Blue did that. I don't like Deep Blue
wanna
either.
it.
just
I
try
wonder,
this
right?
one.
But does it say what's different about this edition, or are they still kind of hush-hush about that?
Crazy about that font of
It's going to
booze, by the way.
have new rules.
Oh, I'm a
With
fan
the
of new
addition of
rules.
just 2 rules, roll 3 special dice and choose 2, and reduce the error to add up all 3 dice. It makes the game even more challenging and exciting.
Interesting. Okay, because I know that they came out with a micro expansion at Essen Spiel 2 years ago, which were specialty dice that had like a multiply
Yes.
the other die and things. And like I bought those, and they're silly, but just the basic game is good as is.
Right.
So I'm curious if this is going to riff on that little promo or that little mini expansion at some point.
All right. In news from Rio Grande, they're reprinting History of the World, which is definitely in the running for most reprinted game of all time.
Is this based on the movie?
No, this is an
And Mel Brooks makes
old
an
game.
appearance.
The original designer was the Ragnar brothers. I believe they are a defunct publisher. If not, they were bought out or something. Anyway, it's a 2 to 6 player game. The length is greater than 120 minutes, and having seen it played, it's definitely a long, involved game. It has a story of humanity. It's kind of an area control. It's kind of like a Civ game, but I believe from having watched it back in the day, I watched people playing it for a brief time, it was a little more abstracted, I think. I just wasn't that interested in it after having watched it. I never got around to playing History of the World, but I know it's like one of the classics.
Huh.
Let me go look it up on Board Game Geek and see when it came out. I want to say it's 86, but I might be wrong there. Let me see what it
84.
actually is. History of the World. Well,
88.
a
2010.
brief history of the world. Man, I'm having to go back. History of the World,
Is that it?
1991. Well, I was off by 5 years. Sorry.
And Joey was
Yeah.
off by 5 and 7 and 8 years.
I was right there.
You were just good. So the original one, I don't have a picture of the. I think this might be the original game here. No, that's Avalon Hill. Avalon Hill did it.
Wow, I like that
the,
cover.
The new Avalon
That's
Hill
a
did
good
it.
cover.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. Rio Grande has it. And they refuse to do good covers. Okay.
You don't like the one that's up on the screen right now?
Wow, no,
I
that's
like
like
it.
it's a space
History
game.
of the world. I'm like,
History
the world's
World.
barely.
I'm like, zoom in. I have to just pinch
what
and
is
do
going
that.
on?
That's all you got to do.
We're mostly talking about the Delta Quadrant.
Anyway, this is coming out this winter, and this game definitely has its fans for sure. But
Do you think it'll make a big splash?
I do not.
It
will not. Again, the game keeps being reprinted, but it's never made. I mean, you've never even heard of it.
I had not.
So, next, Ember Leaf. This is coming from the City of Games. This is
pretty
good.
cute.
We were literally just talking about the City of Games the other day, going, are
Never
they
really heard
doing
much from them,
anything?
yeah.
Well, yeah, they are. So the City of Games, their most famous game is Isle of Cats. So Ember Leaf is a brand new game set in the City of Kings universe, which whatever. This whole universe thing doesn't matter. Okay, it's whatever. It says, after returning from the Isle of Cats, Lord Vesh devastated the world. Much time has passed, and deep within ancient forests, the Emberlings have emerged from hiding and ready to reclaim their home. That is such a cheap way to
That's the
say to
most-
the same universe.
the most tenuous connection ever.
It's like, oh, the world's been destroyed. Same universe.
Same. Just shows a timeline.
Whatever. I'm interested in it. The game features card dancing.
I'm in.
Finally.
You get to put hero cards in your moving grid to activate skills and enhance your fellowship. Use slide cards to get powerful combinations and charge them from the perfect moment for even greater effects. Now, I know that you're making fun of the name card dancing, but if there's a method for cards to slide around and activate stuff, that sounds cool.
It actually does. It really does.
Oh, you know about the Comic Hunters, like the slide puzzle thing? Because I like that.
No, it's not a slide puzzle. It's just that, from what it sounds, it's like you take this card, and if you slide it this way, it does something. If you slide it up, it does this.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think so. Build
I call that
tile placement,
Australian
engine
breakdancing.
building, resource management. A bunch of words that I'm like, ooh. I believe this is coming to Kickstarter. It says September 17th, so I'm assuming it's coming to Kickstarter.
I mean, you know, they're going to have good production. You know, it's going to look very attractive. I mean, their Forest Fire Cat game didn't look as attractive because it was very busy, but outside of that, like, quality was good. There was a lot of good around it, but no, I look forward to this.
All right, this one you'll be excited about, Joey. Creep Show is coming.
Trick or treat.
From Skybound. Unfortunately, it's from Skybound.
Wow, this
the
looks like
suspense building game.
I thought this was Plum Island Horror 2 or something.
It does look like that.
It does look like that, but this is a much smaller game. This is a $20 card game. I don't have any pictures of the cards, but the cards look really cool. There's 54
mother-in-law's
story
on there.
cards, 9 ending cards, 34 double scale. What's wrong with you?
I really hope she doesn't watch.
Anyway, unfortunately, it's a storytelling game where you're going to be creeps and weave twisted tales where the dastardly deviants meet well-earned demises. You need strategy and cunning for this game, sure. Anyway, you're going to create chains of story cards and secretly fill them with suspense. Then you can bet on the amount of suspense to score big. Maybe it's better than we know.
It's a betting mechanism.
I do like the theme of it. It has that old comic feel to it.
It does.
The art on the cards. It looks pretty cool.
Cover looks like Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah. And $20.
Joey will go up to bat for
the
anything
episode
for
where the
20.
guy hates
will.
bugs is good?
That's
No. Creep show where the guy hates bugs. I hate bugs worse. Okay. Let's go back to real grounded games.
Yay.
Oh, yeah. Fine.
Moon Colony Bloodbath.
Oh, wow. There's so much to love. Keep it here forever. I wanted to stare at this.
Okay.
Look
so,
at that X and Donald X Vaccarino.
Yeah, I know. So that's actually the biggest deal about this. If you don't know who Donald X Vaccarino is, he's a designer of Dominion. He's designed
And many other
his
games.
second most popular game is one that won the Spiel des Jahres, the
Kingdom Builder.
Kingdom Builder.
Which I really enjoy. You don't. Joey balances out. You love Kingdom Builder.
I like it.
Do you?
No, I've never played it.
You would not like it.
I wouldn't like it?
You're not a huge abstract guy.
Yeah, I'm hit or miss.
So much theme in it.
There's Anyway, this one is a better cover than the last one, but it still looks like they took a bunch of stuff and shoved it on the cover. But this here is an engine building, engine losing tableau game with a shared deck that you're building together. So each turn, one card will be revealed from the shared deck, which starts with 4 work cards, 2 trouble cards, and 2 twists. So then whenever the card comes up, different things will happen. Things will go wrong. You can add cards to the shared deck, too. That might be perks only for you or things that affect everyone. So great. The game lasts until one player's moon colony has no people remaining. Or until the players reach the bottom of the event deck. At that point, whoever's the most survivors wins. So this is a survival game.
This looks, little KitchenAid robot there. And that's, I don't know.
Oh, that is a meat grinder.
Yes.
Oh.
There's a lot going on in that photo, I'm telling you.
Very angrily.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I get him. He looks, but they're just sitting there. Are they posing?
I think.
Yeah, they're getting their portraits painted on the moon, I think.
Oh, by the moon artist?
Yeah.
That's the best place to get your portrait
It
painted.
is. I've wanted to go to him.
Look, if you've ever played Donald Vaccarino's games outside of Dominion, like Nefarious and, gosh, I can't remember, the one about going into the dungeon with my arm behind my back. Well, I could do it with both legs tied together. Like,
No. He has some good games.
he has some fun stuff, but, like, nothing that really shines, I think.
It looks like there was a game originally called Moon Colony, and then they're like, you know what? This is the battle version of that.
All right.
I don't know.
Let's jump to a very different theme here. Happy Camper. Actually, the full name is Donald Duck in Happy Camper. So this is coming from what company is making this? It says Maestra in the bottom corner.
Maestro Media, I think.
Maestro
Is that what it
Media.
is?
But the game is from Wolfgang Kramer and Daryl Andrews. And as far as I can tell, it is a remake of Goldland.
So I think the two of them work together on the remake of Ley Lines.
Yes. That the remake of Ley Lines is coming from Arcane Wonders.
Yeah.
And then the remake. Oh no, Ley Lines is the remake. Sorry,
I'm
Ley
sorry.
Lines is the remake of Osh or whatever. It was a
Osh,
Spiel
yeah.
Spiel des Jahres winner. and that's coming from Arcane Wonders. This is a remake of Goldland. I remembered Goldland, so I looked up my review of it. Or I didn't review it. I just played it and rated it. I rated it a 4. I hated it. But add Donald Duck, I'm back in. And I'm not kidding, actually.
No, okay. Now, also, this is the year of Donald Duck, by the way. They're bringing a DuckTales game because he's going public domain this year like Mickey did last year. So, like...
Yeah, but not that Donald Duck.
No, but they're going to push him everywhere this year to say, hey, we own him.
He's going public domain next year?
Nah, it's crazy.
Yeah, but that's the old, nasty-looking Donald Duck.
Right.
Yeah, that's
it's
the one
not the
who's
DuckTales one.
That's the one who's not wearing pants.
When DuckTales goes public domain.
Oh, man. Woo.
Also, Donald Duck is a very minor character in DuckTales.
He is, but he kind of creates it.
No. What?
You like Uncle Scrooge, don't you? You're a Scrooge guy.
He's the main character of DuckTales.
I know.
And Huey, Dewey, and Louie. And
so good.
The best character, Launchpad.
Launchpad. When he goes public domain, it's over. Disney's going
So
down.
I started watching the new version of
it's not bad.
DuckTales, which actually has more Donald Duck in it.
Yes.
It does, and more like actual like story arc, too.
And I showed it to my son, and he was like, that Launchpad, why does he have a job? I was like, shut up. He's a great character.
That's a good point.
Oh, man.
How's he still employed?
Has Gizmo Duck appeared?
If it flies, I can crash it. I love that guy. Huh?
Has Gizmo Duck appeared
Oh,
yet?
Gizmo Duck.
Show?
I have not watched all the episodes, so I don't know.
Okay,
Right.
great. Anyway, this game, though, hey.
Yeah, it looks good. Who's it by? Maestro, you said?
Yeah, I don't actually know much about them. All right. Gnome Hollow, very popular game from the op. They just announced you can buy a wooden upgrade pack.
Oh.
And I put this in the news because that's cool.
It's very cool.
What is upgraded? The key, like the points and stuff?
All the little mushrooms that you collect, and then the point tokens.
Have you guys played it?
Yeah, I like it.
I think it's been reviewed on the channel, right?
It has been.
Okay. I need to watch the channel.
Well, no, you don't have time for that. All right. This one's for Chris. Shaolin is a game for. So this is a game from Chill B Games releasing Shaolin, a WuTang inspired board game.
What?
WuTang inspired board game?
Wait, which way are they going with that?
Enter the Shaolin table, be the first to create the 36th chamber in this WuTang inspired adventure.
Okay, I'm guessing they don't mean the rap group.
Was it a word? Was it
No.
around before the rap group?
This is the WuTang Clan.
Really?
In Shaolin, each player is a new student ready to trade at the Shaolin Temple, earning cream, a tangible currency symbolizing respect and skill by correctly answering WuTang Clan trivia questions. Cream enables a player to master up to 5 fighting styles.
Hold on.
Which can be won or lost in a 1-on-1 duel between players. I gotta be honest, I don't understand anything I just read.
No, the cross section of the people that are going to like this is so small.
I can't answer one WuTang Clan trivia question. I don't even know what they are. I just hear them talked about all the time. I know they do music, right?
True or false? Is Wu-Tang for the children?
Well, I'm going to say false, okay? Because that sounds like...
No, that's the quote! Wu-Tang is for the children!
Wait, what?
Is it? I've never... I wasn't allowed to listen to them.
Of course not. No, I guess there was an award show. I forget exactly this, but one of the members was like clearly inebriated, and like his acceptance speech for this award was like, "Wu-Tang is for the children," and then he got off stage.
Well, then I guess I better let my kids listen to this right now.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm gonna follow up with Jimmy in a week and see if he can answer more trivia than you.
Next is Two Live Crew, the board game. For the children.
All right, here's another game coming from Alley Cat Games called Pusheen, the stacking game. A new party game. This will come to retail September 4th. You are trying to be a stacking. You're going to flip over cards and stack different Pusheen Meeples. This is another thing that we're starting to see almost too many of.
Stacking?
Like little meeples, like basically animals upon animals.
Those are cute, though.
Yeah, they are, but it's kind of all the same. But who knows?
Yeah, but
I was just looking at one. What was it? Where was someone was showing me? What's that dumb little one that I don't like and everyone else does, where you're basically stacking fire?
Hero?
Tinder Blocks is from the same company, right?
Ah, right. Well, they have a new game based on that. That's not stacking, I think.
Oh, what else do you do with it?
I don't know. It has something to do with starting fires. I don't remember. I just remember thinking, no one's going to buy this. And then the game sold like 50,000 copies or something. I was like, oh, okay. Well, it shows what I know.
Yeah, no, Caesar from Alley Cat, when I spoke with him, he's like, do me a favor and tell Tom that he's very, very wrong about my game.
Well, I'm not wrong about if it's fun or not. It's not. But whatever.
It's sold like 100,000 copies at this point or whatever.
Tom Vassell doesn't like fun.
I agree. I've said that for a while.
Yeah, you have. Okay. Board Game Arena. You know, so in 2020, Board Game Arena was part of the mix. Everyone was playing games online. It was Board Game Arena and
Tabletopia.
then Tabletopia and Tabletop Simulator.
And Steam.
And I thought, Steam. And I thought the one that would not win would be
Board Game Arena?
Board Game Arena.
Really?
Well, I mean, I liked it. I personally liked it the best. I don't play online very much, but I liked it best because it enforces the rules.
Yeah.
Right.
But it went huge, and then Asmodee bought it. And if you can see right there, it just recently passed 10 million players.
That's insane. I was one of them.
How often do you play on it?
Not very often.
How often do you play on it?
I play on it quite regularly. I usually have an asynchronous game or 5 going on my phone, and then I'll just like, oh, hey, look, I got a notification. I'll take my turn in Azul. I'll take my turn in King Domino or something, and I really like doing that. And then every once in a while, I'll play an online real-time game, but not as much anymore.
I think I probably still have ongoing Mountain Goats. I think that's about it, except for Burgle Bros, I think.
They probably have kicked you out by now. You probably
Oh, I do look down like you've been penalized for not doing your turn.
For not
in 2
being
days.
here this whole month.
Yes, I know.
All right, anyway, congratulations to Board Game Arena. Also,
You did
everyone
it.
was very nervous about Asmodee buying it, saying they were going to kick off all the games. But they haven't so far, so
I would say that there's more games that are in the premium paywall than originally, but there's still a very good
they
amount.
definitely raise prices, but also they should. Like, stuff shouldn't be free. I mean, come on.
Well, the thing that they do right, though, is if I'm a premium user and no one else here in the Dice Tower is, I can invite you all into games, and you can jump in those games.
He
anyway.
I
doesn't.
think he does this. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So he just showed
Notice
us.
that? How many invites have you gotten?
0.
Yeah, same here.
All right, anyway. And last piece of news. Lego Group and Asmodee have announced they've entered into a multi-year published partnership. It's going to create some exciting range of high-quality Lego board games. So the first one here is Monkey Palace. And
So
it's
excited.
the game was designed by designers David Gordon and Ting Ang Myang. And I'm very interested in this game.
Yeah.
I consulted on this game. Chris played an early version of it, which looked nothing like this.
Oh, this looks so good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so we consulted on it back, and I can't talk about it much. I guess I probably signed an NDA that says I can't say anything about it. But I'm interested in playing this. I was told they changed so many things since we played. So
How long ago was that?
it was last year, wasn't it?
Wow. It was a year or 2 years ago. It's been a while.
I think it was last year. I think it was like last spring.
Could be. Yeah. My memory is shot from all of the,
WuTang.
Legos are for adults.
I agree.
Legos used to be for kids. I guess they still are
when
for
they were
kids.
cheap, they were for kids.
They weren't cheap when we were kids. I don't know if you remember that.
Well, I never
Legos
paid for them, so I don't know.
No, I know.
Back when Legos were free. When I was 5.
Legos have never been inexpensive, but I think they keep going up, and it's almost impossible to get them secondhand because
I agree.
collectors buy them.
Hold on to them, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I just want like
It's a racket.
giant. It is
I know.
the Lego racket. You can probably buy a racket made of Legos.
It's expensive, though.
All right, that's the news. Let's keep moving.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Today we're just going to do, instead of a top 3, we're going to do a quick rundown of GenCon.
Yes.
There's been a lot of people talking about GenCon. It's now been a week and a half.
Wow.
So we figured we would talk about it.
And I just got here.
Wow, it just feels like last month.
GenCon sucked. Let's move on to the next.
Yep. Never going again.
It's actually it might be one of my favorite Gen Cons ever. I had a really good time.
I agree.
Although, I mean, it was
Packed?
It was packed. I did not have much free time at all this Gen Con. I'm trying to figure out, I'm working on ways to have more free time next time.
So am I.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mine's contingent on you.
Well, here's the deal. I want more free time.
Oh,
So
One
this
of
is a
us is the
sliding
boss.
I want to go to
scale.
Shapiro, so you're going to a meeting.
We didn't go to Shapiro's this
No,
year.
we did
We
not.
didn't.
There
Made me
was
so
never
sad.
time.
I know.
We were planning to go there for lunch on Sunday. And then
What happened?
A hurricane decided to rip through the country.
we should have went there instead of McDonald's.
We should have. I
And
didn't
we would have been there for like an hour. Like, well, probably should get in the road.
That would have been terrible.
Everyone, we have to leave early. You take care of the booth. We're going to Shapiro's. That doesn't roll off the tongue.
Take your
too
time
well.
when appetizers separate than our meal.
Oh, I want to be clear. Some of our staff did go to Shapiro's. I say this because someone gave us a Shapiro's gift card, and if that person's watching, we did not squander that gift card. I left it with the folks who were stuck there.
Yes.
So starting backwards, the Gen Con ended in a crazy way. I was playing Gnome Hollow at the booth, and I came back. I'm like, I think we should probably get going because a hurricane was crossing the border of Georgia and Florida, the direct path we were driving through. And I'm like, I think we should probably leave earlier than we were planning. I got back, and everyone at the booth was like, our flights have all been canceled. And then I found out that 3 people were sick.
Yes.
And not at the booth. And I was like, oh, wow, things just got real. So we had to make some quick decisions. Some of us jumped into a van. And
some of us were left.
we went 23 hours, got home.
Minimal stops. Yeah, stop for food and bathroom. But yeah, we drove through
We
the
did not
night.
stop that much. See, I'm still trying to figure it out because it said 20 hours. I don't feel like we stopped for 3 hours. We probably did, I guess, if you
Yeah,
add them
just
all together.
collectively, right, yeah.
And traffic and who knows what. Huh? We're old men, Roy. We were in that vehicle a long time. But yeah, so then we got home and then everyone else got stuck there and slowly started trickling home. You were actually the
Slow.
last one.
I was. And all my games were in the van. Except for somebody come by and say, here's a prototype. I'm like, we don't play prototypes. Take it anyway. Oh, we won't play it. I was stuck for a week. Somebody played a prototype a lot.
You were stuck in Indianapolis, though. You weren't stuck in like a hotel in an airport desert somewhere.
We were in Indianapolis. My daughter's like, I love the country. I'm like, okay. You've never really been to the country.
Indianapolis is the country.
I know, that's what she said. I'm like, okay. Yeah, it was, you guys got back. But you guys went right through. You didn't stay overnight. You just muscled through.
We did. We will not do that again.
That's crazy. And then you even went the longer way. You cut around.
We did.
We took the longer path. We went through Ohio, North Carolina, South Carolina to avoid.
Which is pretty impressive. You did
hurricane.
avoid it for the most part.
We did. We skirted the edge of it. We got back. So anyway, so the end of it was not the best, but it was still pretty good. And we had a great con. We had a much bigger booth. Lots of people came by. We had a photo booth. That was fun.
That worked out well.
You can see our blogs to see all the different things, but it was and the drive up was fantastic.
Yes.
The drive back was good. It was long but good. But the drive up was one of my favorite things of the con.
Oh, I agree. I think Chris and I had a great experience in our first hotel.
Okay, so I found a very inexpensive, also known as cheap hotel that's just off the border of Florida. And we stayed there last year, and we thought it was not great, but fine. The only thing that was weird about it was we went in and the AC wasn't on, so we had to turn the AC on.
Fine's a strong word. Serviceable, I think.
No,
is
we've
where
stayed
I'd
in
go.
way worse in Orlando.
Those were unserviceable, yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay. But, well, no, that's the thing, though. If I find out, it was $50 a night, folks. Okay, so we got there, and I was rooming with Jason, and you two were rooming together, and we're like, okay, it was in the middle of nowhere. Chris like, we could get murdered. But I went to my hotel room, and I was like, things are fine. I went to bed, and I fell asleep almost instantly. Jason and me both fell asleep instantly. I wake up at 12:30, right, because I have to go to the bathroom. I look at my phone, and there's a text from Chris that says, had to move because of spiders.
Okay, let me...
Are there spiders in your room? And I was like, I don't know. So I was wide awake then looking around my room. There was no spiders, and I was like, well, I haven't got another text. I'm going back to bed.
Okay,
Meanwhile...
Let me comment on the spider thing. Like how Mike said he's already heard about it. So the whole thing is, okay, so we get there, and there's a couple of spiders, and we start killing them with our shoe. Then later, Chris just designates a spider pillow. There's so many spiders, we're like, where's this pillow just going to be a spider pillow? We kill probably several dozen, right?
Several dozen?
Yeah, they were everywhere, like spider web next to the bed. And then towards the front of the door, there are all these spiders. And in the bathroom. And then finally, we're so tired. And Chris is like, we got to switch. So it's like, so we call the guy.
We walk over to the office. The office,
Yes.
The front office is closed. There's just like a phone number on a Post-it note on the front glass door. It's like late night here. So we bug this poor guy and we're like, hey man.
You mean poor kid?
Yeah, this poor kid. He looked like he was 13.
He was.
It looked like he was past curfew. But thankfully he lived at this hotel.
And
the Bates Motel.
And then he comes in and he's like, where are these spiders coming? Yeah, all these spiders. And Chris is like, okay, there's like a lot of them over here. Then there's a couple next to the bed. He goes, okay, the bed's not acceptable. This is the common area. And it's like, what? And then he goes, but it's the rain that brings him in. He goes, and in my room this morning, I found in the corner, I won't tell you. I'm like, what? And then second of all, he lives here? And then I'm like, so then the next, so he finally moves us to a new room. And Tom just probably going to think we're dead and eaten the next morning because we're gone. And then we get to the new one. We find 3 or 4. And we're like, we'll just sleep here. And I see Chris before we turn the lights off. He's laying in bed. We're like, oh, good night. And then I see Chris go, got one. Good night.
See, I would not have tolerated that. I would have been like, all right, well.
We were tired.
Yeah.
And you know what? As long as the spider stayed in the common area, it was okay.
Well, that's the last time we'll be staying at that hotel.
I think he meant this is a pretty common area to see like a few bugs. But when he referred to part of my hotel room as the common area,
that was fun.
That's true. So Hannah says, what were the spiders eating? Like, why would there be so many spiders?
Us.
Probably because they turned the air conditioning units off when there's not a resident in there. And I'm going to assume, based on the fact that a spider web was built off of my blanket on the first room, that it had not been occupied in, I would say, millennia.
In fact, when we left, it shivered and then the hotel disappeared. All right, well, I'll forget some more money next year.
Hey, it was a great story. You know, it was fun.
It was, I mean, Joey and I were having a lot of fun with it.
I enjoyed it.
He's like, Chris, you ready? I'll turn the lights off. Yeah. The rest of you guys?
That's right. I did the next one. I was like, the rest of you guys okay?
Okay. Me and Jason slept like babies. Anyway.
I know. You guys went to sleep so fast.
I never seen Jason fall asleep so fast.
I know. Okay.
So anyhow, so that was the trip up. We also stopped at Buc-ee's and
love Buc-ee's.
And Level Up Games.
And Level Up Games. That had a great time there.
Store.
It's one of the most impressive stores I've ever been
agree.
to. Level Up Games in Duluth, Georgia.
Also, for those of you who live in Atlanta, I don't think you realize how lucky you are. Mm-hmm. I talked to one person, and I'll keep their identity secret. And I said, this store's amazing.
And I said, like, Stephen Bonacor, you shut up.
And they said, yeah, it's okay. There's a better store that I go to. And I was like,
what?
We have nothing. But see, this isn't like we went to a game store, and because we have no game store, I thought it was good. I just think it's a great game store. They have great gaming space. They have great snacks and drinks. They have amazing selection of board games. The best I think I've ever seen.
I agree. And not just new games, like older games and things like, I need this.
But older games that you would still buy.
Good. Yes.
Not that they're still on the shelf because they're not getting rid of them.
No, not Monopoly, but some that you're like, okay, it's hard to get this online. Yeah, a lot. They had the new Firefly, like, big box, which I hadn't even gotten yet.
They had stuff that was being released at GenCon, which I thought that was, you know what I mean? Like, they had, obviously, a finger on the pulse of recent stuff, and they had a good eye on, like you said, older games that people actually want.
A lot of tables? Yeah.
Their RPG and their miniatures area was super impressive.
Paints? Yeah.
The paints, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. This was an all-around, like...
Yeah, it was a great store.
We even got to GenCon, by the way. This is just the journey up.
Yeah, so GenCon itself was really good.
Yep.
Like I said, we were really busy. But for me, the highlight of GenCon was Dice Tower Awards, which we have on our channel here. It went really good. We were really, when it was over, everyone was just like on a high.
I agree.
Because we were really happy with how they went. The Hall of Fame stuff went really well, really nice acceptance speeches from the different winners. I was really happy with the whole thing. That was a highlight, and I'll tell you now, we'll try to announce it ahead of time, but they sold out pretty quick this year. You definitely want to come. But we did, like I said, get lots of people in. But I would like to get to the point where there's a line and maybe not everyone gets. I don't want to get to that point. I want to get to the point where there's a line, but the very last person gets in. But still, you know what I mean.
Sits in the last seat. Yes,
I want to get to the point where we have to take over the stadium.
I agree.
If Jason hears that, he's
gonna do it.
Oh man. I feel like this year there were multiple parts of Gen Con I didn't even make it to.
Yeah.
I never made it over to the stadium this
That's
year.
what I was going to ask. Speaking, I made it once.
I know. I went over once. It was much more crowded. With the walking through the hallway to get to the food trucks, which last year I was like, oh, this is a much bigger open area. And it still isn't a bigger open area, but getting there. I remember when I went one day to eat at the food trucks, and then I was leaving to get back in, and I had to stand in line to get back into the hall.
Wow.
There's one time we were going down with the crowd and you could not move. And that was one moment I thought, I don't think it's too crowded, but I can see how some people would say it's too crowded.
It was definitely, so this was a weird con in the fact that normally cons start high on Thursday, go down slightly Friday, then up way on Saturday,
Right.
and then come down on Sunday. This, in the exhibition hall at least, Thursday was the most crowded day.
I agree, which is odd.
People were running all over that hall and standing in huge lines for games at various booths.
Yep.
Yeah. I think the biggest shutdown, or like the biggest clogs in the arteries were over in like the 27 to 3,000 aisles.
Sure, because there's not as many open spaces for people to stand in
Right.
over there, so it just got really crowded.
It was really crowded. There were multiple like limited release things. Comic Hunters was over in 2,700, I think.
Yes.
Over in the Bezier area, I don't know if it was the Cat in the Box Jumbo, the Colossal one or something, but that area, I could not get to the Bezier booth. I tried from multiple angles, and it takes a lot for me to feel like I'm in the midst of too many people, and I got to the point where I thought, I just need to leave here.
But they did manage their lines well. Like, I know Rock Hard and Comic Hunters had long lines, but they had people like saying, you can't block the aisle here, wrap around here. I mean, they were long lines, but they managed it well compared to Lorcana.
Yeah.
I think that it's hard to tell like the hottest games of the con. Rock Hard was definitely one of them. Comic Hunters was one. And I think Arcs was even one. They said Leader Games said they sold 2,300 copies.
Wow.
If you calculate that out per the percentage of Gen Con attendees, that means 3% of Gen Con attendees bought a copy of Arcs. And I'm sure a few people bought multiple copies for friends and family,
crazy.
whatever. But like, I'm trying to think of what game that is that focused of a hobbyist game would sell that broadly as well. That's huge.
I agree.
Yeah, so the crowds were high, but there was also tons of good games being played anywhere. There was not a game, I think, that you saw everyone playing in every corner. There was no Lorcana this year, for example.
No.
Not even Lorcana was Lorcana this year.
No, but they saved it, actually. I heard tales from D23 that the lines there were ridiculously and horrible, because that's where they released their next set.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
And
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
People aren't as mad there. I will say I took the cosplay parade we go every year, and I had Z was on the vlog duty then, so my wife saved him a seat right there so we could watch the entire cosplay 20-minute parade. And I just wanted to see Z watch his parade. And he's like, whew, there are some ebbs and flows with that right there, because it was like you had a full-on Mario, like the best Mario costume, and then a guy behind him who happens to own a Mario t-shirt. It was great.
And when Gen Con does this funny thing too, where I guess they group people together. So like there's a whole like 40 people that are all Marios, and they all kind of march together. So you can really shame the people who didn't put effort into it, I guess. I don't know.
I would not want to be next to the guy who spent like 6 months on his costume. When I'm like, this looks good. And
you get there and you're like,
I know, you get so sad. But the confidence to go on through it.
that reminds me like when I was a kid and I worked really hard on a project.
Yes.
And then the other kid came in whose dad made it for him, had a shop.
And you want to go, yeah, you made that.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
We know parents make projects.
Soapbox.
Ridiculous.
Really quick aside, I know Hannah says that spiders are supposed to not like peppermint. So if we ever stay at the hotel again, I will cover my
We will
bed
not.
in
I'll get peppermint
peppermints.
candles. It'll be like a seance.
I'm just gonna fill my bed with peppermints.
There's peppermint smell. There's peppermint crushed candy. A candle. I'm like, what is going on
My
here?
bed will be
Dead
filled with
spiders.
peppermints like the rose petals in a romance movie. Okay.
right.
Now, D&D, this is the 50th anniversary or whatever.
Was it?
Did you guys see the museum thing up there, which is very small?
Oh, I never went to that. I missed it. Did you go?
I did.
And?
It was like one room. I wish there was a bit more to it. It was cool to see these old D&D things from all these editions, but it could have been better. But I thought it was neat to walk through it.
There was lots of panels all over the place.
Lots
you saw a
of panels.
Scooby-Doo panel.
I walked
was
by.
so good.
And this guy is taking tickets. He goes, Scooby-Doo? And I was like in a rush to get somewhere. Well, I have a second.
And you were like, oh, who?
Yeah, so I like stepped back, I looked in, and yeah, there's a whole D&D panel, like a role-playing game panel, dressed up as the cast of Scooby-Doo. Like, well, if I didn't have to go to the Dice Tower Awards, this is where I would be.
That's why there some people didn't come to Dice Tower Awards.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys see Velma and Fred up there. You're like, okay.
To be fair, that makes sense.
It does, right? We'll give them that one.
So in my past, my past experience, my past life, I don't talk about it much. In all the past years I've gone to GenCon, I've always told people, GenCon's not really a game playing convention.
Right.
That's been my feel of it.
Right.
And I feel like this year there were multiple things that were done differently that I really appreciated. So there's the big exhibition hall, which is where we have our booth and all the vendors have booths and stuff. And then there's also rooms. So just straight across the hall from there is like the all play room and the CGE room upstairs, and then the Renegade Studios room. So a lot of these publishers buy out these rooms, and then All Play had, led by Taylor Reiner, like late night trick taking gameplay time from like 9 o'clock till midnight every night. They were just playing All Play games, playing trick taking games.
Did you go?
I did, and I ended up playing some games late at night. And I realized, there's
I was
more.
in bed at that point.
Yes,
You certainly were.
I was getting a Slurpee probably at that point.
I was playing games going, I also need to edit the vlog after this. Don't stay too late. But I was happily surprised that there were little pushes here and there to actually just get people playing the games as well.
I agree. I didn't see a lot of the side rooms this year. I wish I would have went to more of those.
I didn't go enough.
It is so much.
It is.
Jake, I said this on our podcast, but for me, I just have to go into GenCon. I know a lot of people who don't go to GenCon struggle from FOMO, right? You see everyone, you're like,
Right.
I wish I was there. But at GenCon, I feel that way because you get invited to go to so many different places and do so many things, and you cannot do them all. You cannot.
Right.
You cannot, you might have a good friend you're going to see at GenCon. Unless that's one of the few friends you're going to talk to, you might be like, hey, blah, 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 and that's it. That's the only time you see them. There are a lot of people I know who, Sam was there, and I barely saw him. Now, I'll see him next week at the retreat. So, but that's the thing. The retreat is where I can spend good, long, quality time with people, and that I'm looking for that more in small conventions. Even Dice Tower East, I'm able to spend more time with people than GenCon. GenCon is not that kind of show. Now, you could go with a group of people and spend the time together and then bounce around and see stuff.
Yes.
But if you want to go and see things, there's going to be multiple events that you're interested in at the same time on very far ends. Did you make it to the JW Marriott room?
I did. Yeah.
That's one end of the con. The other end is the convention.
Crazy.
But see, then you never made it to the stadium, the other end.
Right. Yeah. Well, and when the JW Marriott was a late night thing again, because I'm a late night person. There's part of the vlog of me trying to navigate from the JW Marriott, very tired, back to our hotel. I was like, ooh, these hallways don't look the same as when I walked over here. Because there's a lot of sky bridges and stuff, so you don't have to just walk out on the streets.
I walk on the streets because I'm a man.
Yeah. But for people who aren't as manly as you.
Yes.
Streetwise, I believe is the word.
Yeah.
Street smart.
Street smart.
Yeah. Tom Bass is a streetwalker.
Thanks, Chris.
Oh.
But yeah, there's a lot of sky bridges and connections
There
between
are.
the hotels,
There are.
which
You don't
is
have
cool
to go outside
too.
unless you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, to see this take a shit guy. But so speaking of my highlights was the carpet from GenCon of a couple years.
No, this is not a highlight.
Hear this story. Tom knows very little of the story. So I get this. No, he knows most of it because. Okay, so I get this carpet. I've been wanting to. GenCon changed their carpet. They had this very iconic carpet for a while. And a couple years ago, and I'm like, okay, I might get some, make little ornaments.
And people bought pallets of it.
They did. I thought, it's all gone. Well, my wife's like, oh, this person has some carpet. They're selling the GenCon carpet for $10 for a square.
A square, yeah.
So I thought, cool, little squares, right? So I'm like, yeah, get some, get 4 of them, right? 4 or 5, I think. because I was going to make little ornaments. So then I'm sitting with Tom at some Greek place. She texts me, and this picture of her with these 2 other friends she brought because she couldn't carry it by herself. I'm like, I don't understand. So all these rolled up pieces of carpet, and I look at it, I'm like, ooh. And then I see Tom go, okay, that's not going to the van. I'm like,
I did say that.
I'm like,
and
okay.
then somehow ended up in the van anyway.
I go, okay. And then I tell Kenny, I'm like, hey, can I borrow the keys to put my luggage in the van? And I'm running back the keys at midnight, and he goes, there's carpet in the van, isn't there? So it was enormous sizes of carpet, by the way. They're like 3 feet by 3 feet.
What are you going to do with it?
I have no idea. It's way too much carpet.
No joke.
Yeah, this is a Dice Tower Kickstarter.
Well, the problem is that you
It's
have
a lot.
The problem is it's too much carpet for many purposes, and clearly not enough carpet for most purposes.
Oh, that's the carpet right there. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, she sent me that picture. That's the one that Tom looks over and sees, and Tom's like, okay, yeah, that's a lot of carpet. That's a great deal, right? Tom's not happy with my carpet purchase.
I don't know the relative price of carpet, but also when I pay $10 per square foot of carpet, I think that I get less used.
There's a lot of memories in that carpet.
A lot of memories.
All right. Well, anyhow, so there's the carpet story. Great. Yeah, so it was a very eventful one because it was like a story-driven Gen Con. It started with a bang, ended with a bang.
You guys left in a hurry.
We really did.
It felt like, I mean, I'll be honest, it felt like it ended with a whimper when we were like, okay, we got to leave. And I was like, I didn't say goodbye to, there wasn't that like big kind of like hurrah. I was walking out towards the van to get my stuff in there before we left, and Z happened to be walking by, and I was like, I guess I'm leaving. Sorry. I think one of the last things I said to him.
To the Dice Tower fans, though, when they knew you had to leave, people stepped up, like fans stepped up to help break down the booth.
And
which
I
was
really
cool.
appreciate that.
huge.
Yes,
You
that
know,
was a
because
big
you guys
deal.
had to get out of there then, or you would have been stuck.
We missed the hurricane, like the worst bands of it by maybe an hour.
Yes,
It
that was.
Yeah, we cut it close, and I'm glad that we left when we did, and I'm really glad that, people volunteered to help out.
But you're right. Usually I say goodbye. I also usually stay at the booth for the last
Right, I
day
know.
so that people can come by and see me. If you ever want to see me at a con, come by Sundays, except this year.
Except
Everyone
hurricane.
understood, though, when like he had to beat the hurricane home.
Yeah, but I mean, it was that. We went to the van and we left, and I was like, that was different. We normally are like, bye, bye.
Right.
Once again, bye. Okay, now we're really leaving. Bye. And then we go.
Just that there's that rush of like, attention Gen Con attendees, the hall will be closing in 1 hour. And you get that excitement of people who are like, got to live up that last hour of the convention.
But now, do you guys feel like it felt like the highest attended Gen Con ever? Did you feel like, you said how busy it was?
If you asked me on Thursday, yes.
Yes.
Okay. I thought, yeah, all right.
But it was a more open Saturday, relatively speaking.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, it was definitely. Z made it back to Florida. He is, but Z is, and Camilla and Mike are at AirCon in England right now. So go see them there if you're there.
Yes.
Yeah, and if you're not there, it's a quick flight.
Just hop over there.
All right. Well, that's kind of some thoughts on Gen Con, some various thoughts. We'll be back in just a second.
Hey folks, welcome to another Gateway Corner. Usually I talk about a game that's good for gateway experiences, but because I just got back from Gen Con, I thought I'd share my GenCon Haul with you and give you some of the reasons why I picked these games. So let's get to it. The first one has historical reasoning behind it. I'm really interested in the theme of this. Printing Press, Lukasz Wozniak, one of the co-designers. I've really liked his stuff in the past, so that's why I picked up Printing Press. And then we also picked up the 2 Cascadia roll-and rights. My wife really enjoys Cascadia as a game, and that's why I went ahead and picked up both of these. I think AAG is a good company as well, so went ahead and threw them some business. Looking forward to getting these to the table. Bonsai is one of the games that I've really enjoyed here recently, and the expansion at DV Games was there, so I went ahead and picked it up. Looking forward to getting this one to the table as well. And then when I was at Family Time Games, we were there. I usually like to throw some support to the business as I'm there, so went ahead and picked up this, as I didn't have Idaval yet. This is an expansion for Nidavellir, and I'm looking forward to giving this one a try as well, because I really enjoy the game itself. Also picked up Sand from Devere. I really wanted to pick up Cities, but they had already run out. I have been able to play a few rounds of Sand in the past, and I'm really looking forward to getting this one to the table and getting a full experience of it. It's a super heavy box, though. Good night, there's a lot in that box. Also picked up from Devere, Three Ring Circus, and this one I played at Dice Tower East. Really had a good time playing that game. There are some there's some quirkiness to it, and we'll get to that when we actually get to the review, but really enjoyed this one a lot when I played it at Dice Tower East, so I wanted to pick it up and get some more experience with it. And then we also picked up Hamlet, the village building game. So one of the things that really kind of leapt out about this one to me were the shapes of the tiles that you're using to build out your little village. I thought that was interesting, and the component quality was really high, and I like city building games, and that's pretty much what this is. Also picked up Loot, because Vikings. And so basically you're leading your village of Vikings to be the most powerful Vikings, to grab the most loot and all of that kind of stuff. It looks interesting to me, and it's Vikings, so I went ahead and got it. Also picked up Mezen. Now, I demoed this at Origins and really enjoyed my experience with it, so they had it available at Gen Con and went ahead and picked it up. Also picked up the player mats, the neoprene mats that they had to offer, so that will upgrade the experience a little bit more, but played this once at the convention too, at Gen Con, and I'm really looking forward to getting more experience with it. Mezen, a little abstract strategy spatial organization game. And then I also picked up this monster, Forges of Ravenshire, and this was the most expensive game that we purchased, because I went all in with it. I didn't go all in with it. I got all of most of the little special bits, the metal coins and the wood pieces and all that other kind of stuff, because I think it's going to be one of those games that we're going to keep in our collection for a pretty long time. So Forges of Ravenshire was definitely one that I was going in thinking I was going to come away with it. And then last but definitely not least, I picked up Bang the Dice Explosion. I've always been a fan of Bang the Dice game. When I knew they were coming out with a brand new version, well, not a brand new version, basically a reprint with some extra characters, the Brave Four, I actually gave away my older copy because I knew I was going to replace it with this one. So I'm really happy to get a nice, cool box with this. So those are my purchases at Gen Con. Thanks for joining us here on Smorgasbord. See you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care.
All right, today we're going to be art critics.
Yay!
Yes, finally.
Yeah. I think Citizen Kane is overrated.
I agree.
We're going to show some of the art we brought back
Reanimator.
from Gen Con. So let's start with this piece that Roy got me. We're going to put up here in the studio.
Oh, it's so pretty.
This is Delicious in Dungeon, but stained glass style, sort of. Not really stained glass.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
If you don't know what this is, it's the greatest anime show ever
In history.
in history.
It's not as good as One Punch Man, I don't think. But
No, I think this is consistently more good. I love One Punch Man, but I will suffer through an episode sometime for a payoff of one joke.
I suppose. Well, yeah, but no, Delicious in Dungeon's fantastic. It's a Netflix anime series, and I highly recommend it.
I then got these. I don't know how. I got two of these. There was a whole series of these. I got these for my daughters at home. I liked them. They came with like quotes on them.
So what are they?
It says
those are
this one
cool.
says "Dare to stand when others bow down." Oh, I'm not. You're the one who's not. Okay, there we go. And this one says, as the last petal falls, her blade rises in mercy." I don't know what rising in mercy means, but I don't know. I thought the art was cool, and I thought my daughters would like these.
All right. Yeah. As Weird Al would say, dare to be stupid.
This is, I don't know, unfortunately, we can't tell you all these, but this one is from Chris Casciano, The Iron Cast. You can find it at theironcast.com. Then I went to a place I always go to. I bought so much art from this same guy, and he made these long ones here.
That
This
looks
is
awesome.
The Avatar. My kids love Avatar, so I'm definitely putting this up on the wall.
The M. Night Shyamalan movie? Big fans?
Yeah, huge fan. It was James Cameron.
This
who
one
did
I
the
got
movie.
for me.
Was it?
This is
Oh, yeah.
Spirited Away.
Yes, I was wondering if that's what that was. I only saw the
wow.
corner
The
of
bridge scene.
That is, I just introduced my daughter to My Neighbor Totoro. And
That-
I think that Spirited Away might be another one soon.
Yeah, My Neighbor Totoro is just the nicest movie ever. Spirited Away has a little bit more fearful things in it.
I've
It
only
does.
seen
I wa-
Spirited Away.
I wanted to show her one that's just more cheerful.
And then this for
first.
my son, because it's Zelda, and it's really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Huh. His name is Link, by the way.
You're
Great
right.
kept.
No, the game is okay. And then the last thing I got, I
This is
got
more metal.
yeah,
It's
gonna
very
be-
metal. Ooh, it's throwing off for a white balance.
This stuff is great. I bought a bigger piece last year, but
That's
I
awesome.
couldn't afford to keep getting. Oh, a little piece of it got bent down here in the corner.
Should have put it between carpet.
I'll say, Joey, the carpet was good for one thing in the van.
I can probably bend that back with a little tool.
Sure. Yeah, little pliers.
All right, Joey, what'd you get?
I wish I would have gone first because mine is not nearly that cool. All right.
Your stuff is fine.
Yeah, it's good. All right, first off, there we go. Can we get this? Here we go. This rolled up to not at John Wick, done in like some very 80s, like an 80s type of cartoon style. Yeah. All right, and then same
Nice.
style.
That's nice.
You should have
Yeah.
showed the John Wick one second. I like that one better.
Oh, you don't like this one?
I don't
Is it
dislike this one.
Reanimator? What is this?
This
Evil Dead, right there.
This is Joey Evans
This-
starring.
Huh? Yeah, Sam Raimi. All right, and you didn't bring your other one from this next guy because yours is actually hanging. You hung it like immediately. So
Yeah, just show yours. That's
here
fine.
we go. Right here. This
Oh,
one.
yeah.
This was on the way to the stadium. This little pencil artist here. And I really just think this is like a montage of different movies.
Things stuck in the
Air
duct.
duct.
Air ducts.
I think there's like 18 movies in there. They give like a little thing to guess which ones. I probably know half of them.
I know
just-
two. Die Hard and Gremlins.
Oh, look at Grim.
What's that? What's the Nutcracker from?
Where's the Nutcracker?
That's
Your hand
right
is
over
on it.
your right hand, yeah.
Oh, I have no idea. You got the Iron Man thing. Got
Yeah, how many air vents are in the Nutcracker Ballet?
the. There aren't a lot. So
Okay.
yeah. Anyway, this is nice. I may be allowed to hang this in my house up to my wife.
The one that
So-
you got, Tom, was one
What
like
are you
that.
kidding? Yeah, the one I got is
It's
one of
good
John Williams
This is cool.
leading an orchestra, but everyone in the orchestra is somebody from one of his movies.
Oh, I actually have. That was actually featured on the postcard. Look at that. Limited that zoom right there, Roy.
All right, so I got this, but in a bigger fashion.
Bigger than that?
Tom got a postcard.
How is that possible?
Zoom in, Roy. Zoom in. Ah.
That's the limit of the zoom right there. Exactly.
All right, there. Oh, we got it.
I like the T-Rex on the timpani. Gung, 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 gung.
First of all, I didn't know he did Lost in Space and like Saving Private Ryan, and that's pretty incredible.
John Williams' career it's unmatched, man. It's so
Yeah.
important. It's
I
so
didn't need to
important
buy it.
say
I
that.
got this.
Oh, maybe those are Christmas movies. Someone said that. That's Christmas movies.
Oh, Gremlins and the Nutcracker.
So Die
and-
Hard's flat in the middle.
Die Hard's the biggest, yeah. When I think Christmas, I think Crawling Through the
Oh
Air
yeah,
Ducts.
because right there we got Home Alone on a batarang. Okay.
On a battering. Well, Batman Returns.
There was Christmas in one of them, right?
Yeah, it's the second one, right? The literally is like the last line of the
Oh.
movie is Alfred going like, "Merry Christmas, Master Wayne," so.
That makes sense. So that's it. We know it's a Christmas movie now.
Oh, John Williams in the next Unmatched expansion. That'd be amazing.
Oh
I know.
my God!
That would be fantastic.
Yes!
John Williams and the WuTang Clan.
Unmatched slowly starts turning into epic rap battles.
Alrighty, folks. Well, that is Board Game Smorgasbord. We will be back today at 2 o'clock, 4 hours from now, to do our top 10 stupid games we love.
I'm so excited.
This was originally
It's just
called,
Joey's top 10.
It really is.
This was originally called Stupid But Good Games, mind you.
Yes,
Yes, you changed the goalposts on me a few times.
I
but-
have. This is the final change.
Okay.
Stupid games that we love, right?
Yes.
You have to change your list?
I like them all.
Okay, well, yeah, that's fine. We'll say that in the thing.
Oh,
Okay. Anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Basil.
I'm Chris Yee.
I'm Joy Evans.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you, and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vassell.